Palafin EX was first introduced with the release of Scarlet and Violet Twilight Masquerade, and has seen very little play ever since it's released. It was a very hyped up card when initially released, but with the amount of bugs on TCG Live, the interaction between evolving your Palafin to Palafin EX, it was nearly completely unplayable. Even with the release of the summer Palafin event, the cards had still been bugged for months on end without a proper fix. Finally, with the release of Shroud of Fable, the bugs had finally been removed, and for the first time ever, Palafin had finally been playable online. While it still didn't see a lot of play, the wannabe Batman Dolphin had been, for the most part, forgotten, except for a select few. Me being one of the few loyal to the deck, had tried many different ways to make the deck work, just as others did, but unfortunately, the amount of time of testing and playing in online tournaments wasn't worth the overall effort. Near the release of the Stellar Crown format, Palafin had finally seen the light at the end of the tunnel and earned its first ever online tournament win. By yours truly. With the release of multiple new sets, the deck had fallen off more than it already had, from being ever so slightly playable to nearly not at all. I had to make the painful decision to put it away and further prepare for the first few regionals of both my season and for my overall career as a player. While the thought of trying to make the deck work in the F block format had always been there, I decided to lay it down to rest. Jumping more into present day, Palafin had finally seen its first decent shot of being good in the Birmingham Regional. It had appeared as a stream match during the first stream match of the day, and while it was shown, it didn't really get to the chance to be shown off how it really performs. But I made it on stream, so that's something, right? Back to my story. Since Palafin's first ever win in an online tournament, it had unfortunately not been able to get another win or very high finish in one of those tournaments. Until post-rotation of 2025. With many cards out of rotation, Regidrago and Lugia, and ultimately slowing down the format, the deck actually seemed more playable. With myself and a few of my friends starting our playtesting in late February, Palafin wasn't really on any of our radars due to the excitement for the new set, with new cards such as Mamoswine EX and the new item-locking Tyranitar. After practicing over and over again with many different decks, we had all went to a Cash Cup for the very first time, and for the sake of my ego, we'll just say I could have done a lot better. While having an initial panic attack as soon as I didn't know what to do after the cup, I went back to the drawing board. And just as Palafin had seen the light at the end of the tunnel earlier, I had finally seen it and decided to get back the Dolphin. I quickly built the deck online and took it for multiple test runs, and I think I had finally cracked the code with Palafin. Now I present the true best deck in the format for early post-rotation tournaments. I think. I just wanted to say one more thing before we fully go through the deck profile. If anyone goes to make any videos based off of this one or with the deck profile itself, please give me a little bit of credit. I'm trying my best to grow, and I need to start making more videos and get more onto it. It just takes a lot of work. I spent a lot of time going through the video. I edit it myself. I'm still learning how to edit everything. So be very, very appreciative if I got a little bit of credit. Not asking necessarily for shout out, but just like, hey, this is where the original video is, or this is the guy, thanks. Yeah, thank you. Enjoy the video, please. What's going on, guys? I don't really know how to do intros, so we're kind of just gonna go in and wing it. I just want to do my deck profile and talk a little bit about the first place tournament I just got with Palafin. Been a huge Palafin fan for the longest time. I tried making it work back since its initial release, and I just wasn't, unfortunately, not able to make it work as well as I wanted it to. But with post-rotation, everything's a lot slower now, and I figured it would be time to at least try it again. And I think now, out of all times to play the deck, is the perfect time to be able to play it. So here's the Palafin EX deck that I got first place with. Very basic for the most part. Palafin EX, it's a stage 1, feels like a stage 2. It's a little bit difficult to get out, but it's 340 HP. For 1 energy, you get to hit 250 damage, but you just can't attack during your next turn. So a little bit of a drawback. but if you know how to position yourself well enough and get out what you need, you should be fine to be able to get an attack off every single turn with no issues. Getting the Palafin EX out, again, is the hardest part about the entire deck. 0 to hero is once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot, you can search your deck for a Palafin EX and you switch it. All of the cards attached, damage counters, special conditions, whatever, still applies to the Palafin EX, but then you shuffle the old Palafin back into your deck. With the rest of the deck, it's kind of just, okay, let's get our switcheroos going. Our main way of doing that is with Pecharunt and using Subjugating Chains. Just switching our Dark Pokemon to the active and retreating it. In the past, wasn't a great option. It was either more Peko or you could do Weavile with the rescue board. Only reason that you were iffy on the Weavile is because not until Prismatic Evolutions did we have a Sneasel with free retreat. It was always requiring our more Pekos to have that free retreat option. But now that Sneasel has this free retreat option for us, it allows us to perfectly use the Weavile, which once during your turn when this Pokemon moves from your bench to your active spot, you get to switch it with one of your opponent's bench basic Pokemon. Which, against the Stage 2 decks and Stage 1 decks, it doesn't matter too much. But the opportunity of just getting something into the active that your opponent might not want and still getting a different supporter for your turn is insanely amazing. Draw support wise, we're just playing the Dunsparce engine. I'm still figuring out which Dunsparce to play. I don't know if this one's correct. The 60 HP free retreat one might be better. And then just when we get knocked out, Fezandipiti is just better. Other thing to mention, our other Finizen is the 50 HP one. It's nice when you go second, or if you're having a really slow start and you do go first and you need to attack during your second turn to get your Palafin out. Biggest concern for the wall matchup is our main attacker, in that case, mainly for Cornerstone, not even just wall, just for the Cornerstone part, is going to be the Palafin from Obsidian Flames. I mean, even when you get Bedewed, being able to Jet Punch the active and something on the bench is amazing. And then Justice Kick for 210 perfectly hits it. Going on to our trainers, it was iffy in the past because you would play Iridias if you preferred, because get the water Pokemon, get the item card, very useful. But now with everything being a lot slower, it's definitely Arven's being the answer, but you still need something else to be able to get set up, and the next answer to that would be the Ionos. It's huge early game, it's huge late game. Iono's just a good card. I don't have to explain it. Research for extra draw support. I can't tell you how many times I've been able to get research. Maybe not getting rid of the cards I want to get rid of, but overall just better. The addition of Black Belt, it's strong. So many different decks are playing it, such as our Caledon as well. But Black Belt literally lets you hit so many different numbers now, and not needing to worry about, oh, I'm missing this Golden Go by 1 HP. Black Belt helps with that. There's a few other cards, which I'll get to that. 1 Boss's Orders, that could change. It might need to be 2 Boss's Orders. It might need to be a Boss's Orders and a Counter Catcher. I'm not fully sure yet. That's still getting tested with. But it's just for the other stuff. And like, in case, let's say you don't have a Weavile set up, or you need a KO Pidgeot or something else. It's there just to help. It has, I mean, it's had its moments. It's always going to have its moments. It's Boss's Orders. I don't have to explain that part. Ball search wise, we're going 4 Poffin, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Nest Ball. We could go drop an Ultra Ball for a 3rd Nest Ball, but I don't think it's needed. I think the 4th Ultra Ball is very, very nice. Typically you're able to draw enough cards with runaway draw as well, so you should be okay. Just in case, we have 2 switches, making sure we're able to get this Palafin going turn 2. Some decks played a Turo back when Palafin was being experimented with. I know I did. But Super Potion is very, very nice. It has helped me multiple games. Messing their Monkey Dory math up with Guardy and just other cases like that. Always nice to have. 1 Night Stretchers could go to 2, but if you're going to go to 2, I wouldn't play a Super Rod. So 1 Night Stretcher, 1 Super Rod seems fine. 1 Energy Search. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this over Vessel, but I like this a lot more, considering why would you... Like, you don't always need a second energy in your hand, and if you do, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to draw into it with other resources. 1 Pal Pad, this is just kind of getting our boss, our Black Belt back when needed. Also, I've used it multiple times to get a research and an Iono back late game, etc. Rescue board, it's just for our Weavile. There's no other reason for it, really. It's how we're getting the Gust and Retreat back into the Palafin to keep swinging. Oops, skipped one. Max Belt. A lot of ace specs are good with the deck. I've seen Unfair Stamp, I've seen Scoop Up, I've seen Prime Catcher being the most popular in the entire, since it came out. Prime Catcher's normally been like the go-to, but I think with the way this format's shaped, Max Belt is probably your best option. You're getting to one-shot an Archelodon. You get to one-shot most stage ones. I think, no, you get to one-shot every stage one, excluding their own modifiers. With Gravity Mountain plus Black Belt, or, well, Black Belt or Max Belt, we're able to one-shot every single stage 2 in the format, except any 340H Pokemon, such as herself. There's a few others like Mamoswine and Slakini X. I don't know how much play those are going to see, but I'm not too concerned because there's normally going to be something else you're going to go for a KO with. Additionally, we play a one of Practice Studio. Originally, I had 2 Gravity Mountain in, but missing Archelodons by 1 HP when I use a Black Belt's training, and without the Max Belt, or missing a Golden Go by 1 HP, really sucks. But the Practice Studio perfectly fixed that math. It's literally just you add 10 more damage for your stage 1's attacks, and so you're hitting Golden Go 260 perfectly. The energy count, we just have 6 water energy. I don't see a reason to play more. I don't see a reason to play less. I mean, if you really need the spot, you could go down to 5, but I would play a second energy search in that case. I don't see a reason not to play 6. But yeah, that's my Palafin EX deck profile. I'll have the matches for the stream posted as a individual video, just kind of the entire VOD itself. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like and a follow. I would really appreciate it. And I'm gonna try and keep posting more videos. I just have to get the motivation to keep doing that. So yeah, have a good one.